8 dumb fighters versus pro fighters. Watching relatively bad fighters find out the hard way that they aren't as bad as they think they are will never get old. Luckily, there's an abundance of these people and the content keeps coming. Here are 8 dumb fighters that challenged professional fighters. Sean Strickland makes quick work of a wannabe tough guy. UFC fighter and perennial middleweight contender Sean Strickland is the last guy that'll ever hold his tongue or back down from a challenge. He's been taking on fighters that nobody else wants, and he's been very candid with his feelings towards anyone and everyone. Also, he spars like a madman. Given all that context, he seems like the last person an untrained person would want to lace up the gloves against. However, critical thinking wasn't completely there, and now we have this video. The challenger allegedly said that he could hang with Luke Rockhold in a fight. This was when Strickland was rumored to fight Rockhold, so it was a tongue-in-cheek way of saying that he could hang in there with Strickland as well. Strickland let the challenger know that if he feels he's in danger, he should just drop to the mat. Soon after the action began, Strickland, known as a cool, calm, and collected striker, abandoned this method. Along with technique, he rushed the challenger. The guy who could allegedly hang with Luke Rockhold almost lasted 10 seconds. So yeah, beware, Rockhold. Kidding. This challenger was easy work. The only thing quicker than this spar should be how quick you hit that like button. 10, 9, 8. Justin Gaethje spars a bachelor. When Panic at the Disco sang about the death of a bachelor, none of us knew that the death would come by way of sparring the 2-time lightweight title contender, Justin Gaethje. Many of you may know that the Full Send brand has worked its way into the MMA scene through ties with Dana White, various fighters, and the publicity of getting punked by Nate Diaz. The Nelk boys may rub many the wrong way, but they're very generous to some of their fans. They made a video focusing on a fan's wedding. Enter Justin Gaethje. The plan was to have Gaethje and the Bachelor spar. Should the Bachelor last 30 seconds, Nelk would pay for the wedding. The highlight is a competitor, but he's no wedding crasher. Gaethje held back and let the fan work a bit and make it all 30 seconds. Was this the most wholesome spar you've ever seen? Let us know in the comments down below. Floyd Mayweather Sr. gets sucker punched. Charlie Zelenoff, it's about time we talk about you. Many of you might recognize Zelenoff. He's infamous for asking random people to spar lightly and would then try to knock them out. Though he hasn't done this for a while, we can't live this clip down. Charlie actually put himself in the ring against a trained boxer, that being Floyd Mayweather Sr. Mayweather seemed to be going pretty light. He utilized the Philly shell, a defense where the rear hand is upright and the lead hand protects the body, while the lead shoulder protects the head. To many, it looks like Charlie's unloading strikes and is slightly successful, when really none of these shots has any effect on Senior. In typical Zelenoff fashion, he wants to quit as soon as he realizes he's the inferior pugilist. Floyd, thankfully, doesn't let his bully off the hook and refuses to let him leave until the round is over. Charlie eventually abandons ship and leaves the ring, only to enter once again when Mayweather has his back turned. One cheap shot lands and chaos ensues. It's safe to say that Charlie felt the wrath of the rest of the fighters in attendance. King Webb MMA Challenge. While MMA is the most tried and true form of fighting, considering it's the conglomerate of even more tried and true martial arts, there are still some doubters out there that believe BJJ, kickboxing, Muay Thai, and other arts don't work. When this Storm Raider came into Sanguine MMA gym, he repeatedly challenged the coach, who declined time and time again. He went further by saying that the coach was scared of him and that he didn't want to taste defeat at the hands of the challenger's Aikido and boxing-focused style. Well, eventually, Webb, one of the head coaches, had enough and accepted the challenge. Though the challenger had the confidence of a fighter, he didn't have the skill. The coach took him down with ease in their first go. Webb locked in a triangle choke, and the challenger had to eat crow in the form of him tapping out. Why not run it back? The two square up once again, and Webb tested the striking a bit more for this round. After peppering the challenger up with leg kicks and really just showing a lack of concern for any offense coming his way, he threw a jumping roundhouse kick that drove into the challenger's chin. This rendered the Gym Raider unconscious, defeated, and hopefully humbled. Unlike the challenger with that kick, did you see this outcome from a mile away? Let us know down below. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Drunk versus Muay Thai fighter. Sanctioned bouts are cool and all, but how about letting a drunk guy from the audience try his hand at fighting? Throw those liability laws out the window, get the beers flowing, and play that Sarama. The trained fighter's seen taking it easy on the drunk guy. This guy already lost to the bottle, no need to give him another rough loss to go along with this night. Really, he entertained the drunk man in blue, but still kicked him around the ring in similar fashion to watching an older brother toss around a younger sibling. The Muay Thai fighter landed a bomb of a right hand that floored the challenger, and that was the end of that. Have you ever been drunk enough that you woke up to a black eye and videos of you in a Muay Thai fight? Please share that story. Large fighter takes on kickboxer. Okay, so the story behind this is that the larger man walked into this gym and a kickboxing coach was down to scrap it out. Now, we're not entirely sure if this guy's a verified coach because he was very sloppy and questionable with his technique at times. But hey, we weren't there. This also shows that even a little bit of skill can trump a size advantage when the larger person has no skill. The spar begins and the larger man is throwing like the coach stole his wife, wallet, and dream job. Though the strikes looked scary, the accuracy was laughable. Coach would avoid these strikes and counter with leg kicks. Though the early flurry looked good for the challenger, he gassed out and was really feeling those kicks. After the coach landed some jarring blows, the bigger fighter called it quits. That two-piece that the coach landed was pretty impressive. Not as impressive as the two-piece of you hitting those like and share buttons, though. Josh Neer puts a challenger to sleep. When will these people learn that challenging people who fought in the UFC is a bad idea? Josh Neer had an incredible career as a martial artist. He fought names such as Eddie Alvarez, Anthony Smith, and both of the Diaz brothers. When this troll messaged Neer talking trash, he dug his own grave with how disrespectful he was. The video shows Josh on top, landing elbow after elbow after elbow. Eventually, outsiders had to step in to stop the action, but Neer found an opening to land one more strike, that being a soccer kick. Do you think Josh went too far? Was it justified because of the trash talk? Let us know what you think. Boxer beats a walk-in fighter. While showing heart in a fight is admirable and a surefire way to win respect from your opponent and an audience, it simply does not reign supreme over skill. This guy walked into a boxing gym and challenged a fighter that competes. We're sure you can guess how the rest goes. Though the challenger seemed to do okay in the opening exchange and actually has a decent jab, the competitor saw how high he holds his chin and the many openings that his flaw opens up. The more trained boxer began landing bombs and putting the challenger down time and time again. Things looked rather easy for the trained athlete after he gauged the situation better. The final knockdown actually kicked the challenger out of the ring. That does it for the video. Let us know which entry you found the most satisfying. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you'll be notified whenever we post next.